Hey guys, how are we doing? Hopefully everybody's having a great Saturday so far. We've gotten moving. I just wanted to check in, see how the most recent exercises have been going for the sciatic nerve that we talked about. Today I want to focus a little bit on some areas that we can do to help strengthen and help with that injury prevention piece. So stay tuned. We'll probably work a little bit more on the core and then hip balancing stuff as well. So stay tuned. We'll go through that in a minute. So we're going to talk about a pelvic tilt. So that will help with some good core engagement, good core recruitment. That will help take some of the pressure off of the low back and the hip for that sciatic nerve. And we want to make sure that we have a nice strong core. So this one's fairly simple. You can do it seated at your desk or even while you're watching TV. Pretty easy to do. So just going to turn to the side here so you can have a better view. So what we're going to do is we're going to engage that core, bring hips and ribs closer together. You're going to hold that position for about 5 to 10 seconds, build up some endurance, release that back out, and then you're going to come back and do that again. It's not going to look like a big movement, but essentially you're going from a tilt like that and then helping to just flatten this piece here. So give that a try. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. So now we're going to do a little bit of a cat-cow. So what this will do is, so you have your sacrum bone at the bottom of your spine, okay? And then you have the vertebrae on top of that. So instead of just going by breath like you normally would in yoga and going through that motion, what I want you to do is break it down and try and go segment by segment. Doing it nice and slow and also somewhat using the breath, but not using that as your marker for when you're arching and coming back down. So you're gonna come here, 4-point position, and you're gonna breathe in and you're gonna slowly tap and come up as far as you can, and then you're gonna come back down, going nice and slowly again. Try to focus on going one segment at a time. So this will help with that mobility. So give it a try there. I want you to do about 10 if you can. So let me know how that goes and I will check in with you in a bit. All right guys, let's look at the glutes. So that piriformis muscle that I mentioned last time that runs right over that sciatic nerve, it tends to be a reactive muscle. So what that means is that it turns on, does too much work for other areas that are a little weaker. Typically, it's going to be that glute medius muscle that we have, which is really, really closely related to that. So here's a couple exercises that will be good for that. One is easier, one's a bit more advanced. Okay, so I'm going to lay here, ankles, hips, and shoulders all in one line here, slight knee bend, and you can put a finger right on the top here, and you're just gonna lift that top leg and go back down and lift. Hold in for 2 to 3 seconds. We want to make sure hips still face forward on this one. If this one's too easy for you, you can add a band either below the knee or above the knee, or you can do where you have this, the doing fonda, turning that foot up, leg is slightly back, and then what you're going to do is lift, do a pause, lower, lift, and lower. So that will help target that glute med. I would suggest doing this after doing that piriformis release that we talked about in the last segment. All right guys, so because that sciatic nerve is so long and has a lot of different branches, we want to make sure that we take up that whole chain as a whole. So especially for those of you that are getting some numbing or tingling down into the feet, we want to look at that whole posterior chain or the back of the leg. So looking at the calf, the hamstring, and then even the low back right here. So what's specific about the low back is that a lot of those muscles that allow you to go side to side and extend back do attach onto that sacrum, which we're trying to get moving because of its close relationship with the sciatic nerve. So you can take foam roller, a lacrosse ball, or even that can of soup that we talked about before. Those will all help with getting some of that mobility. For those of you sitting in desk chair, couch, these will be really, really helpful for you for that low back. It'll help get things moving. What I would also suggest is that straight leg raise that we did as the assessment tool for you to do in the first segment of this. I would definitely suggest rechecking that after this as well, after you get all of the stuff. So it was great to see you guys again, and I will see you on the next one.